Hey there, greetings everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Plan B Success. Dr. Robert Anthony, a renowned psychologist, once said, "We judge others by their actions and ourselves by our intentions." So, if we were to say that all people are energy in motion, we would be talking about the truth. Most of them anyway. Thus, emotions are energy in motion, and their projections upon others is what you see and feel. People project their energy outwardly, and it's up to you to decipher what energy it is and whose energy it is. Think of a baby, that cute, innocent, angelic infant who looks like he or she is overflowing with love all the time, practically flooding you with warmth and adoration. How could anyone not want to be around this little being? He or she is simply the embodiment of perfection, peace, and blissfulness. Yet, that same perfect little baby can turn into a monster in less than 10 seconds if he doesn't have his food or if he thinks that you're about to take something or someone away from him. So who is this person? What is he projecting at the moment? The answer may not be obvious for some time, but like most people, it's best not to make any sudden moves around an unknown baby until you get used to its patterns of behavior. People project their emotions outwardly all the time. They're either sad or angry or joyful or upset, etc. However, it's not always easy to discern whose energy you're feeling at any given moment because people change their behavior so quickly. I've faced this problem many times in my life, especially when I was young and just starting out with emotional clearing. Wanting so badly to clear people's energies, I'd begin the process only to find out that Mr. Angry wasn't really angry at all. He was actually sad, and my clearing would bring the sadness up. So then, I'd have to switch over into emotional healing mode in order to release his or her residual emotions of sadness that my previous clearing had unearthed. I know this may all sound confusing, but it really isn't as difficult as it sounds. Let's say you meet a new person, and after talking to him or her for a while, you get this feeling that he or she is really angry. The person himself may not even be aware of his anger, and he could just as easily be projecting joy or sadness onto you. Or maybe the person isn't projecting anything at all. Perhaps it's your unresolved issues that are making you feel like someone else is angry. It's important to remember that you're always affected by other people, not just when they project their emotions onto you, but also when they don't. The best way to know for sure is to ask the person directly what he or she is feeling. It's much easier than it seems. When someone asks how you feel about something, you tell them truthfully, either from a place of love or anger. It doesn't have to be anything earth-shattering, just something as simple as having your favorite food prepared in a different way for dinner can put you into an emotional spin. So when someone asks how you feel about this, don't think that it's going to put him or her off in any way if you tell them the truth. They're typically very understanding of how people feel and did not lash out at you for feeling this or that way about something. So don't lash out at them for asking what your feelings are on it either. Give simple, straightforward answers to direct questions regarding how you're feeling. If you're open about your feelings, you won't have to worry about clearing them anytime soon. Think of it this way. If someone says to you, "I want to talk about how I feel," and you don't want to talk because you're too busy or simply uninterested, don't be surprised when he or she takes out their emotions on you. If a person initiates a conversation about feelings, then at least take a minute to hear him or her out before brushing them off. You should never have to feel bad about how you feel or who you are. So take pride in your emotions and accept them for what they are. Part of the human condition, which is neither good nor bad, but simply is. Have you ever felt like someone took your breath away? This happens to me almost every day. Is the person trying to overpower me with his or her energy? No. I'm not talking about full-on attacks where someone may want to take over your crown chakra or cause you pain. This can happen in a much more subtle way where people project their emotions onto you. I bet you've had a friend who's an emotional vampire. Vampires are human beings too, but they have given over to negative emotions that seek to control them rather than serve them. You can spot these types of people easily because they only want the positive attention while everything else is negative. Or it's all a big joke. Emotional vampires feed off other people's emotions and energy without even realizing they're doing it. They will laugh when you laugh, cry when you cry, cheer when you cheer, get angry when you get angry, etc. But not because they care about the things that make you feel this way, but rather because they feed off the energy that is being given off when you feel this way. Emotional vampires are people who have not learned how to express emotions in a healthy way, so they take it out on other people instead of dealing with their own issues. You can spot them by asking yourself these questions. Do I feel drained after talking to this person? Do I feel like I have to walk on eggshells around him or her so as not to set them off? Does he or she always talk about themselves and their problems but never ask about me or my life? Once you've spotted an emotional vampire, you have to teach them how to control their emotions in a healthy way. If they're open to change, then go ahead and give them the benefit of the doubt. If not, then don't bother wasting your time on these people because they will bring you down with them when they sink. Emotional vampires are everywhere, so it's important to learn how to protect yourself from them. If you are an emotional vampire, then make the necessary changes in your life so that you can be happy without draining other people. Have you ever had someone try to change who you are? This is common amongst friends and family members who feel threatened by your success or happiness because they either cannot do the same or they don't want to. If you're an emotionally healthy person, then don't let anyone try to change who you are as a person. If your friends and family members make you feel bad for doing something that makes you happy, or if they criticize your dreams and passions, then it's time to take a step back and reevaluate the type of people you surround yourself with. Don't get me wrong, not everyone who tries to change who you are is an emotional vampire. You need some feedback from other people in order to make your decisions because ultimately these choices affect all aspects of your life. So if someone has a different point of view that adds value to your life, then by all means listen and consider what they have said. However, this is a very different story from people who tell you that you shouldn't be doing something if it makes you happy because it's not normal. Emotional vampires will try to change the person you are because they see who you really are as a threat to them. They will say you shouldn't be doing something that is part of your life's purpose because it's not normal. I repeat, if someone has a different point of view that adds value to your life, then by all means listen and consider what they have said. But this is a very different story from people who tell you that you shouldn't be doing something if it makes you happy because it's not normal. If someone tries to change you, then tell them that they cannot do that unless you allow them to. Then let them know what will happen if they try to come between you and your happiness. This is important because sometimes you won't get a chance to say anything until the person crosses the line. If this happens, then let them know how their behavior affects you and what will happen if they do not change their way of thinking. Only you know what is best for yourself, and if someone tries to come between you and your happiness, then just walk away. If the person happens to be a family member, then protect yourself while you still can, because some families would rather have a troubled family member over a capable one. Don't wait until the problem starts to take action, because that may be too late. Did you also know that there's a direct correlation between your emotions and the sensations in your body? When we feel happy, we smile. When we feel sad, we cry. When we feel angry, our muscles tighten up. There are some people who are naturally able to sense this oncoming sensation of an emotion before it manifests into something noticeable. For example, someone is about to make you angry, and this sense of knowing comes from the ability to read other people's emotions or empathy. Emotional vampires will often try to mimic the person you are so they can be part of your life and create a relationship with you. When someone mimics you, say for example that they mimic everything that you do or say, then this is a red flag because these people have an ulterior motive. And if their behavior continues after you've told them to stop, then they're trying to manipulate you. So what can you do to prevent this? If there is an opportunity, point out their behavior and explain why it's inappropriate for them to mimic your actions. If they continue after you've told them not to mimic your actions, then the next time they attempt to mimic you, tell them that you will leave. It's important to tell them how their actions affect you because if they know, then perhaps they'll stop. The difference between someone who's caring and a vampire is that the vampire will only care about what they can get from you, but not how you feel. They'll mimic whatever makes it easier for them to be accepted into your life to ensure that they maintain the relationship. Do keep in mind that emotional vampires have a very wide range of skills, and some can be so subtle that you may not even notice them until it's too late. The only way to ensure that this does not happen is to know what to look out for so you can protect yourself. Hey, I hope you liked this episode. Go check out the others and you'll find inspiring content there as well. And do share and subscribe and make sure you spread the word. Thank you.